Why he fighting this? Why? What is his goal?
Do you understand the words that come out of my mouth?
Welcome back to the Immigrant section. I'm your host, Abbas, Wahab, and in the studio today we've got Rahil Shaikh from the
Fuck yeah, bud. Fuck yeah, bud.
Let me finish it, bro. What the fuck? You got no respect. I was gonna say Rahil Shaikh from the Wet Beak Podcast, but you fucked it up there.
Yeah. We record at the same studio. We have the same producer, our trusty producer, Patrick, who's all about gold right now, dude. He's wearing a gold chain and a gold watch. What happened to
Eastern
you, Patrick?
European, yeah. Very Eastern European.
I've had that stuff on. Normally, I'm just wearing like a sweatshirt or I have it underneath my shirt.
I never saw that chain that you're wearing up until today, dude. That's
last time he was wearing a Soviet volleyball team, like, blaze, I swear, like varsity jacket.
Yeah. Like
had the hammer and everything.
The Navy swim team
tracksuit
from the Soviet Union.
That's actually way more badass than volleyball, dude. My bad about the volleyball thing.
No, that's about right. I think there are volleyball versions
of that jersey.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? Fuck yeah.
Just chilling, dude.
We run in the same motherfucking house, and it's been so long since, like, I don't know why we waited this long to cross the fuck over.
Yeah. We have a little bit of a shitty rule on the Wet Beak. That's the reason we haven't crossed over yet, where we're just a bunch of insecure two comics. We're like, nah, we don't need another comic to out-funny us. We have our producer to out-funny us already. We don't need another actual comic doing that.
Yeah, Patrick will out-knowledge you. Does Patrick ever go on rants of, like, just knowledge?
Oh, yeah.
Pertinent facts, but still just lined up, boom, 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 Wikipedia.
All about
right?
Irish fucking facts.
Yeah, right. You're like, Jesus, man. I don't even want to interrupt them. This is just like factual.
Dude,
as
most
fuck.
of the Wet Beak is me and James arguing about something and looking at Patrick and him going on answer. Yeah, one of you is right or one of you is. That's pretty much on point.
Who's correct?
That was correct.
Jem Easy is another Toronto comic. So Rahil actually met this cat here in Toronto. So you moved to Toronto what year?
I moved in 2013. Not to Toronto. I moved to Windsor. Do you know Windsor?
Windsor, Ontario.
Yes.
Is that that's where you first came to Canada?
Yes, I came to Canada there first. I landed there in 2013. And honestly, man, when I landed, I had no idea that Windsor is like a small town.
It is. It's right next to Detroit. It's on the other side of the border to Detroit.
So basically, everyone in Windsor is going, fuck, I wish I was in Detroit right now.
Yeah,
right? Like no one's happy to be there. Yeah,
Detroit. Yeah, because Windsor's whole economy was based off of
that
Detroit.
Yeah, and they had one university there. But apparently, when I went there, the GM building shut down too. So it was a very desolate place, Detroit, back then.
Yeah, shut down like operations, but like when you look across the water, you still see the GM buildings, right? They didn't break them down,
and you know what's
right?
funny, dude? They
Buildings
still had the lights on.
Sorry?
They still had the lights on.
Oh, yeah.
Every single night. Like heavy lights, too.
Dude, for some reason, I'm of the opinion that any large machinery, it's more costly to turn it off than it is to just keep it running.
Nice.
I feel like that's how, like, yachts work and cruise ships and buildings. I'm assuming it's like, maybe it's so expensive to turn that shit off.
Apparently with fire hose, dude, I saw this training video of firemen trying to contain a fire hose that's throwing water out. And someone commented like, why not
a projectile?
Yeah, why not just switch it off? But like you said, sometimes it just takes more power to switch it back on again. So they just keep it running. Right? So they train these people how to fucking...
So how do you catch it? What's the technique?
You just think of it as like a big dick. You know what I mean? Like a big dick that's coming. Like a 60-inch dick.
The way you want to think about this is it's just a cock, all right?
It's just a big old
At
cock.
the end of the day, it's just a flinging cock.
And act natural, you know? Act natural the way you would act
Everyone's
around a
like,
cock.
Someone's writing, they look over someone's shoulder, he writes just a flinging cock. Underlines it twice. This kid's ready for a quiz.
Yeah, man. So I moved to Windsor in 2013. I moved here to get my master's degree at University of Windsor.
Rahil is another engineer turned comedian.
But the thing is, we don't have rings. They don't hand us out rings in India for engineers.
But
I guess because there are so many engineers there.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
the ring budget would be huge.
Out of the world. Like if we started paying for rings, there would be no money left for cows, bro. What the
or
fuck?
a diploma. Look, you can have a ring, but we can't give you a diploma. It's one or the other.
You can have the ring or you can have a computer to program on. You decide what you want.
Did you guys in your graduation have the flat brim hat with the little thing hanging down?
Oh, yeah. That was very,
You have to have that, right? right?
Yeah, that started new. We also did this thing where we threw the hat and all that fucking. You see all those in
And
coming
everyone
of age
jumped
movies.
and time paused.
Yeah, dude. I have all those fucking cliched photos
Yeah,
of me when I was a
like
fan.
Anchorman.
Yeah, dude. I threw all photos and I moved to Windsor.
Do you remember the first piece of like? Do you remember leaving the airport? Because Windsor Airport. Actually, I can't even pick. Did you fly into Detroit or Windsor?
No,
or
so
Toronto.
I flew. Yep, I flew
Into
to Toronto,
Pearson, of
and then
course.
I took a.
You took a Robarts? Or
Yes.
Did you
What's
took
that? What's it called?
The Airbus? Or did you take
Robert.
the
What's
train?
the first thing that he said?
Robarts.
Robarts. Yeah, that's the one.
Airbus.
Yeah, so it was like $60, and they dropped me off at Windsor.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny, dude? So Windsor is a very small town.
Immigrants take that. It's right next to customs.
Yes, it's right there. Someone told me. Also, my friend was like, "Yo, just take that and come here." So I took that, and I went to Windsor, and it's a very small town, right? And
It's a town of roughly maybe 200, 300,000, or maybe 1 to 200,000 people, I'd probably say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's like very divided. Like, there are a lot of people who live near the university, and then there's just a bunch of empty space, and then there's a residential area, right?
Exactly. And there's a very highly priced residential area. Those are all the management class people who work over the border.
Over the
and
border,
make
yep.
the US dollar.
Definitely.
And then come back and invest it all,
all the
in.
Chrysler GM managers. and all
Yeah,
of those
exactly,
people.
dude. I worked in Detroit for 2.5 years in the automotive industry.
Oh, really?
I lived on the Detroit side. Yeah, I mean, it's a suburb of Detroit. You know, it's like if you're ever traveling abroad and people ask you where you're from, if you're from Mississauga, you're not gonna say Mississauga. You're gonna say Toronto,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just how exactly I would
That's
say
what
Detroit.
I feel about Pakistanis too, dude. I feel like if someone asks a Pakistani, where are you from? They'll be like, I'm from India. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No one
yeah,
goes, I'm from
exactly.
Pakistan.
But you could say Islamabad. You're not gonna say the village 3 hours out of Islamabad.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna say Islamabad, right?
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
say
that's
Lahore.
true.
You're gonna say whatever. But so with Detroit, I say Detroit, but it's like definitely I live in Troy, Michigan, and Madison Heights. Madison Heights. There's no danger there. Come on, yeah.
That's the two of the whitest names. Madison Heights.
My old roommates actually hit me up. They're listening to the podcast. They're like, "Oh, Detroit guy over here, right?" I'm like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." All right, don't fuck up this charade. All right.
Yeah, dude. I moved to Windsor and I was so fucking disappointed, dude. I was like, what the fuck? Is this what first world country looks like?
That's a
Shitty
tough
thing.
city to get out.
But I had no idea there's this whole world out there, right? And there was this big house there beside our house. So I asked my friend who's already living here. I look at the house and go, dude, is this the principal's house, right? Because in my head, I thought just everyone lived there, but that was someone else's house. Then I lived there, I finished my degree, and then I moved out of all the places.
So you finished your master's in Windsor?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I finished there, and then I moved to Toronto in, I think it's mid 2015 or late 2015.
Was your master's okay? So was your master's course based? Because I know you can get engineering masters that are like you pick out some sort of hypothesis and you try to do research and defend it, or you just do like 8 courses.
So I had 5 courses and that.
Okay, so
I had a
you
both.
defended something kind and did some
different,
courses.
yeah. I always liked presenting things since I was a kid.
Okay, yeah.
I knew I like
Same here,
giving.
same
I
here, yeah.
loved
You're
doing
good at it.
presentations.
You're
Yeah.
good at it.
Yeah, because I was just like, people just listen to you talk, and I just loved that all the time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do that thesis. It was fun, dude. And then
Do you remember the full name of the thesis? Because it's always so many
dude.
fucking words.
Fuck no.
The advanced blah 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 blah.
I
structural,
know
blah,
there
blah,
was the
blah, blah.
word relational data in it.
Oh
That's
my
the
god,
one thing I
that's
remember.
when you check out.
Yeah, I'm like,
Relational data. Fuck
because,
you.
Because I remember, I didn't used to smoke a lot of weed in India, but then I moved here and then I started smoking a lot of weed. So that whole Windsor part is very hazy, and thank God I don't remember any of it, dude. I want to forget it as much as I can.
Yeah, it's a rough city to
It
have
is
a
a
lot
rough
of
city,
memories.
yeah. And then I moved here, and all of the places I moved here in Toronto, I moved to Mississauga, right? And one of my buddies
That was a good example I gave earlier.
I was like, dude, we got to go to Walmart because that's the quintessential Toronto thing because, that's where people shop. And I go there and it's just all brown people, dude. And I just had another huge moment of crisis. Like, dude, what the fuck
Am I doing?
here? Like, did I
Yeah.
just move from India to another India? Like, not only the cashier, the person who was helping. And it was not brown people. Like, it was fresh off the off the board brown people.
Yeah,
right?
Mississauga is a suburb of Toronto where I think
It's not
the
a suburb
country.
of, I think it's a suburb of India.
Yeah,
It's
right.
an Indian suburb.
It's where the government seems to put every landed immigrant
Yeah.
family. They go Mississauga. They have like a big jar or bowl of dice, and all the sides say Mississauga. They're just
M,
rolling
M, 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 M.
Mississauga.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much where you're gonna find the best like foreign markets. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna find the best Turkish markets,
Oh, yeah.
Indian markets.
Some
like
of the best
it's the
Indian food
most
I've had.
foreigners, just densely populated. It looks pretty much like imagine a international terminal, a city version of that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Pretty much, yeah. A lot of Sikhs. A lot of Sikhs.
Brampton even more,
But yeah,
right? Brampton's like super Indian population.
I've never been to Brampton.
That's where
a lot.
Jam Easy lives, baby.
No, he lives in Etobicoke now.
Oh, yeah?
He used to
He
live
grew
in
up in
Brampton.
Brampton,
Yeah,
yeah.
he grew up in Brampton. That explains a lot of it, the way he talks and all. Yeah, but I've never been to Brampton, dude. Like I've been to Brampton, but I've never really been there. Like I've never stayed over or.
I did an
experienced it.
8-month internship in Brampton. The funny thing about Brampton that I noticed is you see so many like late 90s Toyota Corollas,
Oh yeah.
and they all have there so many different driving academies. And they all just have one random adjective as the name. It'll always be like, or noun. It'll be like Star Driving Academy
Yeah.
or Moment.
Tremendous driving school.
Tremendous. All of them.
Fantastic driving
It's
school.
always a late 90s Corolla and a driving academy. I'm like, is this
Yeah.
how every brown person is doing their like laundering of money or like just doing a cash job kind of thing? Like, are they all doing this business? It seems like such a front. There was so many, bro. There
Oh,
was,
yeah,
every single car was a different one. Prime Driving Academy. Star Driving
Dude, I
Academy.
guarantee you, definitely that guy who runs the Prime Driving Academy also sells telephone cards on the side.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. It's just a side hustle.
Yeah, exactly. Like you take 3 kids, and as you're in the driver's seat, as this one is practicing, they're merging on. Like
Yeah, all the lane.
he's telling the people in the back, "Hey, 500 minutes."
For this card, what do you think, huh? Unlimited calling to
Yeah,
Pakistan,
yeah,
bro.
Pakistan,
Call as many
yeah,
as much you want,
Bangladesh.
yeah. You ever take a cab, dude? That's why I fucking love cabs, man. Like, I feel like when I take Uber drivers pretend to be that they're not drivers.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
They pretend to be
like
they're
above it.
conversationalist. You're not a
Yeah, yeah.
conversationalist.
You're a driver.
Drive your fucking car and just move on. That's what I love about cabs, dude. They don't pretend to be that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just
yeah.
there like, yeah, dude, I'm your driver. I'm going to drive
no
you around.
arrogance,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
There's no arrogance.
Uber drivers just like, oh, there's just like this air of like, oh, I'm
An
better.
Uber driver will show up, and I drove Uber for a while until my car became too old and
Yeah.
kicked me off. But an Uber driver will show up listening to their own podcast, and it'll make it weird as if like
Did you listen to your own podcast?
no, like no, I wouldn't listen. I wasn't even. I
That'd be
had the
so funny,
podcast going
dude,
when
if
I was
you-
driving. But I'm saying I'll have Uber drivers who are just listening to their own podcast, and it's just like there's no consideration for the cab driver's not gonna pull up listening to your own motherfucking
Yeah,
podcast.
because he's too
They're
busy
gonna be like,
abusing his brother.
Yeah, right, yeah.
just
Yeah,
talking-
man, what do you mean?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, what the wallahi. Hey, brother, everything good?
He's always screaming.
It's
yeah,
good, brother. The right side good for you, brother.
And
my
he's just
dad,
going-
my dad drove a cab for 15 years.
Oh,
bro.
really? Eh?
Yeah,
Damn.
and it was like the typical immigrant story where my dad came with an MBA from Holland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was like a professor in Sudan for economy. You
Yeah.
know, he was a minister of finance in Oman, you know, like very like decorated like resume of like occupation, and then they come here, and when you come to Canada and North America, they just don't recognize that, shit.
Those
They're like,
degrees are not recognized.
I don't know about those, man.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
pretty much just fuck with York University. you know what I mean? So you just end up, all the Sudanese community where I grew up, they all drove cabs, because at the time, the majority of people paid cash.
Yeah.
So it was like you can
Lie about
claim
how
what
much you
you
make.
want.
Yeah,
Everybody's
that's right,
on
yeah.
welfare at the same. I mean, I don't want to blow this up at this point. Everybody switched over to Uber and it's all captured.
Yeah.
But pretty much every cab driver out there was claiming a very small amount, pocketing a big amount of cash.
And yeah.
Pretty much what every server and bartender does. What everybody does. That's the whole game of
Yeah,
tax.
to
Hey,
not pay your
we all got to pay
taxes.
a little bit, right? Remember,
I paid my taxes,
Yeah.
bro. CVC,
yeah,
if you're
I pay
watching.
I pay my taxes fully.
I pay extra. Just in
CRA?
case. Hashtag Trudeau, bro. They want me to pay 25. I'm like, bro, take 30%.
Yeah, right. Just yeah,
Just
a little
take it.
extra
Just
for you.
take it and go.
Go buy
Yeah,
yourself
yeah.
something nice, man.
Yeah,
Dude.
dude.
Do you remember the second culture shock that you had after like Windsor, like moving? Actually, no, you actually said it was Mississauga. It was Mississauga big in that Walmart.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
dude.
I was. Dude, also, it was not just the brown people around. I expected going there to see just rows and rows of bacon and ham and all that shit, right? I go there, there's frozen rotis, there's pickles from India.
Because it's in
pickles,
Mississauga.
yes,
Yeah,
the
better,
pickles that
better.
my favorite pickle that I used to eat since I was a kid was there. And I was like, bro, I always wanted to run away from this.
Yeah.
Now I'm back here,
I want a
16,000
Twinkie.
miles away. Yes.
Yeah.
Give me a Twinkie. Give me some maple bacon, bro.
Yeah,
and
right.
yeah, it just blew my mind away. That is why. And the other thing with Indians, dude, especially the people that I hung out with, my friends, right? And it's mostly true for all fresh of the board Indians, I guess. We don't tend to explore new things. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I remember with my friends, we used to get high and be like, yo, let's go get some biryani. I'm like, dude, let's go get fucking that soup shit, ramen noodles. And like,
Yeah,
no, I don't want to try that. I don't realize, no, let's go biryani. And 99% of the times, we would just end up going at an Indian restaurant to the places we already knew. And I just started hanging out with other Indian guys, you know, and I just was like,
Were they adventurous or were they also trying to get
no, they were just
Indian
like,
food?
Indian food.
So everybody, regardless of the Indian group you hung out with,
Everyone wanted
no
to get
one was
Indian food.
adventurous.
No, I just have this one friend that I did shrooms with yesterday.
Yeah,
He was a little bit adventurous guy. And that's why, dude, I had like a huge quarter life crisis.
This
I'm like,
sounds so gay right now. He was a little bit adventurous.
He was, dude.
We did mushrooms.
And we had a little bit
we
of
had
mushrooms.
we had a
And
little
we
bit of
fucked, bro.
We had a
for
little bit of
hours and
adventure.
hours. He could not come. I had to use my mouth. But
Yo, that's mushrooms, baby. That's mushrooms. How's the trip?
It's great, dude.
It's my favorite, man.
It was my fucking fantastic.
That's my favorite. Did you have like any sort of realization?
Yeah, a bunch of realizations, dude. But you know, but then
Like what?
dude, that's the thing. You think when you're on shrooms, you had this profound realization. Only then to realize when you're not high that it is not a realization at all. It's just a cliche thing. You go, water is wet when on shrooms. Like, water is wet. Holy fuck.
yeah.
I can feel the water. And then I wrote it in my phone and then you later go, oh, fuck, this is what you thought when you were on shrooms.
Dude, rain is just water from the sky.
Damn, dude, that's just God crying. You know?
Yeah, right?
And then you're like, dude, that was not profound at all. The only thing I realized yesterday on shrooms was I went fishing when I was on shrooms. I don't know why, but I just realized fishing is boring. There is nothing more.
Were you drinking?
No.
Dude, that's the whole point of fishing, apparently. Is to drink.
But that's the thing, dude. Like the action to wait period, the ratio is
It's
so
huge. Yeah, it's bad.
huge.
It's
You
bad.
throw the thing, and I'm just like, dude, what happens
Dude, you're
next?
supposed to have 2 beers before it tugs up. That's from me piecing it together from movies and like
Yeah.
popular media. You drink, you bond with your son, and then you get a tug.
And then,
I
yeah.
thought that's the whole point of fishing. And then the sun sets, and
And
your
then-
marriage is saved because now your kid's happy.
And now we have a 6 feet fish, which saves you your
Right?
fucking
Exactly.
marriage.
Now
Yeah.
your kid has a picture for Tinder like 4 years from now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's the cycle of fishing. That's
Instead
what
of-
fishing is really just for Tinder pics, I think.
Oh, dude, 100%. I think it's like a subliminal message of how big your dick is too. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah, 100%. It's
Fishes
like
remind me of dicks.
yeah, they're sloppy like that.
They're very slimy too. Have
Yeah.
some scalies and
Just don't
shit.
trust it, you know?
Yeah, I do. I was
They're
tripping on
sketchy,
shrooms.
fishy.
This guy throws a bait, and for 45 minutes pass. I'm looking at him going, "What next?" He's like, "The fish." He's like,
So what now, bro? What the
and then,
fuck?
dude, I go, "What next?" And he goes, "Oh, we just need to wait for the fish." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, just wait for some time."
Like, bro, I have 8% battery life left.
And then he looks at the guy next beside him and he goes, "Any luck?" And the guy goes, "No." And the guy looks at him and goes, "You have any luck?" He goes, "No." That was the entire fishing trip, dude. Just periodically asking people any luck and them going, "Nope, nope, nope." Dude, there's like 10 people
Yo,
there.
though, I feel like those are the moments you appreciate the most once you're a fucking old man.
Oh, yeah.
Once you're an old man, it's like, anything yet? No. How about you?
No.
Nothing. And then you just fucking continue waiting and living and waiting to live.
Oh yeah,
to
right now
die,
I just hate it because I'm a fucking
because
young
you're
renegade.
young. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
What do you mean, man?
Yeah,
Fuck.
where's the action, bro?
Yeah,
Something needs to
exactly.
happen now. Where's the punchline?
I'm trying to get a set in tonight. Yo, let's get off
Let's
this
do it,
lake,
let's do it.
bro.
Yeah,
Let's
and
hit up a
then,
town, bro. I'm trying to hit a set.
I saw all those people and I was just like, man, not my thing fishing.
Did you
Not
end
my
up catching anything in the end?
Fuck no, dude. If here's the thing, I feel like if I had caught a fish, I would love fishing. Like if I had to
Oh, you're
fucking
just sour. You're just sour about the failure.
yeah, just dude,
you failed. to
my
fish.
friend had like a fucking 6-inch knife that he uses to gut fishes.
That
I
looks
was
like 12, by the way.
that's how off
by
my
the way,
thing is.
by the way, I remember,
inch.
bro, when I went to Sudan, every time I go to Sudan, anytime anybody describes measurements, I don't know if it's like this in every like foreign country, but they always do a hand thing.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
That's
They're like,
what I
bro,
did.
it was like this.
That's what
It
I
was like,
defaulted to
That's
doing.
literally
Yeah,
what you were doing. That's
yeah.
what all my cousins would
Yeah,
do.
we
It's
do
like
the same.
6 inches. Bro, that's half the way down to your elbow. That's not 6.
I'm
bro.
sorry, dude. I'm my math is
That's not 6, bro. Come on.
it's like is this 6?
Nah, man.
Anyways,
That's probably 9.
He has a 6-inch knife.
Dude, that's not where you're going it on. He has a 6-inch. Wait, no.
Dude,
whoa.
I was like,
No.
the entire time on shrooms, I was holding the knife, dude. I just felt powerful. I don't know what it is. You know how sometimes you hold a gun and you're like, fuck, dude. My dick is bigger 3 inches automatically.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%,
That's what I
yeah.
felt like with the knife, dude. I was like, bro, I have a normal 4-inch dick now. With the
Yeah.
knife on, you
Yeah,
know?
give me that knife back. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I want to kill a fish. Dude, the entire time I'm just holding a knife, hoping to God that a fish will come to like just stab it, you know?
bro, man.
Nothing happened, dude. And I was just like, fuck. That was not a. But at the same time, I feel like if I was on, if I would have killed a fish on shrooms, that would
That
not
would have been a bad vibe.
Yeah, that
that's
would
not. That's
You would
not,
have had a fucking existential
Yeah,
Crisis.
fucking
Maybe-
freak
maybe-
out,
100%.
Maybe everything worked out for a
100%.
reason.
You
Yeah.
weren't supposed to. There
When
was
you're
a
on shrooms, your
realization.
guilt is way up.
Yeah,
Way
dude.
up.
There was a realization in not catching the fish.
Yeah,
the
dude, it
fish
was-
was you. The
Dude,
fish
I
was
was
you,
the
Rahil.
fish. I was the
You
fish all along.
were the fish. The fish was in your heart all along.
I like how fucking Kung Fu Panda was a thing that started it, right? Where the guy opens the thing, and it's just a reflection of himself. Was that not the thing?
What? No, I don't remember that.
You guys
Like,
remember- yeah.
Started like the self-reflection thing.
Yeah. So wasn't there like I think it was a Kung Fu Panda 2 where there's a secret upstairs on the roof. Maybe I'm confusing some movie.
Dude, I definitely did not watch Kung Fu Panda 2.
Oh really?
Yeah,
no, I watched-
you're just looking around. No, nobody watched Kung Fu Panda 2.
What,
the
you guys are
famed
telling me you haven't
trilogy of
watched Kung Fu Panda 3.5? What
Yeah.
the fuck, dude? It's the best. There's a crossover, but Simba comes along in the thing.
That's, what pissed me off back in the day when I was in high school. Anytime this moment would happen, they'd be like, dude, you've never seen Kung Fu Panda 2? It's like, no, bro, I fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. You know
You know what I'm
haven't
talking
fucked.
about. Dude, this happens with me all the time in Toronto, dude. I'm still getting used to it. Like when I'm hanging out with people, they talk about shows that I didn't even know existed, right? Like fucking Prince
like
of Fresh
90%
Bel-Air.
of shows.
Yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
Okay,
and all those
everybody
shows.
knows that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I didn't really.
You
grow-
should know that.
I
Shame for
didn't
you
watch
for
it.
not.
Dude, that's what I was saying to someone. Like my point of reference for Western civilization starts post How I Met Your Mother.
Okay, so,
So
you missed
everything-
Seinfeld, Friends, you missed
Everything.
all that shit.
I have no context for
Fresh
that.
Prince.
Fresh-
Sister. You're definitely not going to know that.
I have the one
You
thing I
don't know how
know
much I love you.
the
Okay.
Carlton dance.
Did
That's
you
the,
watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
No,
Oh, man, that's
it's a good
bit
show.
of some bad TV. That was a good show, but like I was so young, I can't even remember. I like to think the acting was bad, but I don't. I was just so young.
Yeah, at that time,
something
yeah.
about the acting being bad makes it more magical in my mind. If it was a great acting theatrical, I don't think it would have been on the low level TV network.
Okay, it was,
on.
yeah.
It was low budget for sure. These were
That's what
not.
I enjoyed. Dude. Either you have to be extremely good,
Yeah.
or extremely bad. right?
Exactly.
Like if you're
That's why
extremely
Scary
bad,
Movie is so good.
Yeah, it's like, it's so
That's
bad.
why Scary Movie is so good.
And also, they don't pretend to be anything smart. They're like,
Exactly.
They're like, we are dumb, and this is what we do, and we just keep doing it.
Do you remember watching Scary Movie 1?
No, I don't. Oh, is that the scene where you go, what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yes,
That
yes.
changed comedy. That
Yeah.
was the first like parody that was like actually no, there was Animal House and all that stuff, right? But that was
Yeah.
the first horror parody that was stupid from the get-go, and like the one that I ever witnessed like as a growing up, Like it came out while I was growing up.
Yeah, it was like a mainstream
Scary
yeah.
Movie, that changed everything. And Scary Movie 2, now I'm like getting older. I'm like, yo, this is the funniest. That's when I started being like gravitating to everything comedy.
Yeah. That was the first. I didn't even know what parody meant until that time, dude.
Till Scary Movie, exactly.
Yeah, and then when I realized, you can
thing, yeah.
actually. It was almost like they were making a commentary on what was going on in the social sphere
Well,
of
they're
the
just
life,
making
right?
fun of all of the horror movie cliches. Like
Yeah.
the white girl would go like, and she would run, and like layers of clothes would slowly come
Yeah.
off, and the white people would always go investigate like white cliches like
yeah.
It
that.
started with Scary Movie, and then you're right. Like they literally, well, they look how good this works with Scary Movie, and then they did like Disaster Movie, Not Another Teen Movie,
Seven
like
of the dance ones.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the all those kinds of
Stomp
like
the Yard. They did like 6 of those parody ones, kind of. Stomp the
yeah,
Yard
they
was
started
real.
parodying things like a year after they came out. Like
Yeah.
there would be 300, and then they would do a 300 parody.
What was that movie,
within
dude? I love that 300 parody movie, dude.
but it's the
dude.
same people
With
that did
Carmen
Scary
Electra?
Movies.
yeah,
Yes.
what was it called? It was fucking hilarious, dude.
Dude, I remember convincing my buddies to watch that in theaters, paying the full price. And the moment Carbon Electra pulled, it's taken place like years ago in the 300 times,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The moment Carmen Electra pulls out a cell phone to do something and quickly pulls it away, I remember my buddies just glaring at me.
What
Just glaring daggers at me like, you motherfucker, we paid fucking $12
Yeah,
for this
fucking,
shit.
I also remember they were, you know how in 300 Spartans they all get together. There was a scene in that movie, in that parody movie, where it was just like America's Got Talent judging them for all their bodies and the workout they were doing. Yeah, it was a great movie.
Dude, wow, what was that? Came out 10 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
10 years ago? I don't
Definitely.
even remember. I just remember her pulling out that cell phone and just
Such an
fucking-
iconic
you
scene, eh?
you feeling the looks of people being like, you
Yeah,
fucking stupid mother. This is what you brought, this is what we paid, you stupid fuck.
Man, Jackass is the other movies I love, dude. I also watched them very late in my life, but I fucking loved those movies as well.
Can't imagine being on set on a Jackass.
Oh no! That's just constantly someone trying to just puncture your ball sack. I feel
Yeah,
like that's
right.
the whole.
Even the camera people, you know?
Oh yeah, everyone is just. I feel like the entire Jackass crew is just trying to set up each other the entire time, and they just happen to film in between if they're lucky.
Yeah, right? It's like, it's the most fucked up version of improv. Like,
Oh, yeah. Did you see Steve-O?
how do you
Whose roast was
cast
it?
for people like that? You know?
I feel
you know-
like you go to the local rehab
Yeah,
and
maybe.
find the most fucked up person. Do you miss drugs? How about you smash your head in this
Yeah,
wall?
right. Simpson style poster. Do you miss drugs?
Drugs, yeah.
Question mark. Well, you should read this.
How about this? Yeah. Yeah, dude, it was fucking crazy. I loved. They had this movie called Jackass Bad Grandpa.
I've watched Bad Grandpa.
I fucking loved that
Dude.
shit, dude.
No. I watched the movie Bad Grandpa.
Oh, that was Robert De Niro.
No. Bad Grandpa. What is that?
No, it's just called Bad Grandpa.
That wasn't the
It's
Jackass
Johnny
one, right?
Knoxville dressed up.
Oh, that
as,
is not Jackass. Bad Grandpa.
No, it
No,
is for the people who made Jackass, but
Oh.
it has nothing to do with the title.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
It's just called Bad
but,
Grandpa.
But Jackass had a grandpa version, I think.
I think it's
No,
the same
it's a-
character.
Were we talking about the same one?
Okay. The old guy is a bit from the Jackass show.
Yes.
They made it into a whole movie, but the whole movie, there's no mention of Jackass.
Oh,
it's literally
yeah,
a
yeah,
Bad
yeah.
Grandpa
Okay,
movie.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Is
But
that
one
what
it's
you're talking
from the
about?
Jackass
yeah.
character.
Dude, one
Okay,
of the
yeah.
funniest scene in that movie was where the kid strip dances. Do you guys not strip dances, but it's like a child pageant competition. That kid actor is fucking amazing, dude. Whoever that kid is in that movie.
Do you ever watch kid actors and just being like, fuck, how do you cultivate that talent at that age?
I can't imagine, dude. Like
I saw some movie, some indie movie or something, I forget. There was like this 3 or 4 year old pulling off lines and like killing it. I'm
Yeah,
like, how
dude.
the fuck do you instruct this kid?
acting seems like so easy until you actually do it.
Oh, when you're on set, you're like,
And then
fuck,
you're like,
this is a
fuck,
huge
huge.
machine that has to come together. This is a nightmare.
And then you try to say your line just by.
Dude, I did a Nissan commercial for the
Oh, I think I've seen that. The one
that-
with the helicopter shot.
with the helicopter shot. Yeah, went to Nova Scotia, the east of Canada, to shoot that.
Yeah.
I love saying that for no reason. That adds nothing to it, but fuck it, I'm flexing. Okay, dude. There's one scene there where in this commercial, the whole thing is about this new autopilot feature Nissan
Yeah.
has, and it's a button on the steering wheel, and the whole in the commercial, it's a black hand going from the holding steering wheel position to touching the button. And that we did for one fucking full hour.
Oh,
They're
wow.
like, all right, now show us maybe more fingernail on the pinky.
Shows more personality. Be more sassy. Have fun with it, though.
All right,
you know
yeah,
what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah. We're gonna cut for lunch in an hour. The director says use that. You're like, okay. Dude, an hour, just like, yeah, maybe less thumb. Can we a little clockwise with the thumb? Okay, open and down and up. Okay, and let's try. Okay, all right, and maybe close.
And it's just for what, 1 millisecond too, right?
It's like 1 full second.
Damn, and that's it.
Still,
And
like, we
for just,
tried
like,
it 100 times.
Oh my
like,
god.
And I bite the fuck out of my nails. And my nails are fucked up. I had to go to the nail salon place.
Oh really?
Yeah, bro.
Fuck.
And I was just talking about manly shit the whole time, so they know that I ain't
That
that
he-
straight. You know what I mean? I'm like, you guys watch that game? They're just like, I'm just like spitting for no reason and shit. Like,
Just eating fucking tobacco in front of
Yeah.
them. Not even fucking chewing tobacco. You just take out cigarettes and just empty the tobacco and just put it in your mouth. Like,
wow, that guy,
gangster, bro.
Wow, that guy's into pussy for
Yeah,
sure.
that, for sure. Can you imagine a guy who's wearing a shirt not gay at all?
Not gay.
Not gay at all.
Dude,
oh
but
my
straight
god.
up, I bite the shit out of my fingernails, and sometimes I have to book stuff. I gotta go fix my fingernails.
Oh yeah.
So I go to this nail place called Lucy's Nails.
Manicures. Get manicures.
Yeah, bro. I
They feel good?
I get shellac. It's like
What's
clear.
the difference?
It's pretty much like a clear epoxy. They shape into a fingernail, so it goes over my disgusting fingernails. It looks just like normal. It doesn't hang over. It's not a fake solid thing that hangs over. It's just like a gel that they shape into a perfectly cut fingernail.
Oh wow.
And then they put it in UV, and it's an epoxy that hardens.
How long does that take?
The whole process, you're in and out in like 20 minutes.
Oh, that's it? And how much
Yeah.
does it cost?
$25.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I want to get it done. I've
And
never
then you
gotten a
can't bite your
pedicure or
nails during
pedicure.
that time.
Oh, I don't have the problem of biting. Do you have a problem of biting your nails?
Yeah, bro.
All the time?
Yeah, well, no, not all the time.
When you're anxious or something like that, right?
When you're anxious, 100%.
Yeah.
It's like I've been doing it since I was first grade, and like I stopped doing it many times, and my nails grew back fully.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, like
Now I know, yeah.
now I know back they'll
control it,
come
yeah.
back, so I have that fear gone, right? But yo, every time I took mushrooms to stop fully doing it the first time,
Did it help?
it fucking helped. Like I grew fully back, but then I swear to God, this sounds fake, but I took mushrooms again, and it kind of undid it.
Oh yeah, I want to.
Do you believe this?
Yes, it has happened to me once.
So mushrooms now, mushrooms is such a crazy
you have to be very.
it
I
like
don't know. What
unlocks and relocks things.
it makes you very.
Like I can take mushrooms now, and immediately as the trip is going off, I'm not anxious, but now I've like completely unlocked that inhibition to stop biting. So I'm just
Yes.
biting, or I can take it and. For weeks, I'll realize, yo, I haven't bitten. I look at my nails; they're fucking great. I was like, yo, I haven't bitten in weeks. So it's like I don't know which fucking direction it's gonna go. They're powerful as shit with like neural networks in your brain.
That's
and
what
stuff.
happened.
I don't know if that means anything, but I said it.
Neural.
Neural networks.
I know the word neural networks means.
Yeah, let's brush past that.
Dude, the first time, the very first time I did shrooms, I remember once I did shrooms, I was like, oh, I no longer want weed in my life.
Right.
I quit smoking weed for 6 months.
From that moment.
From that moment until the time I did shrooms next time.
Exactly.
I was like, dude, I want a joint right now. And I haven't
You
stopped
turned it back
since
on.
then, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is, I have experience. I don't know what it is though.
Dude, the one super big like proponent for psilocybin mushrooms, I forget this guy's name. He went on Rogan,
Yeah.
and he was talking about how he. Patrick, you got the name?
Duncan Trussell?
No, not Duncan Trussell. This dude. Type in like dude.
I know who you mean. If it's not Duncan Trussell, I'll look it up.
This
Sorry, one moment.
fucking podcast was incredible, but he pretty much stopped his stuttering. He had like the craziest level of stuttering, and he ate a crazy amount of mushrooms. And was like, stop stuttering,
Yeah.
stop stuttering, and he just like stopped at the end, and like his whole life's research became like mushrooms after that.
Dude, I don't know.
And I believe it 100%.
Paul Stamets.
Paul Stamets, yeah, that
gotta go
episode.
check it
Yo,
out.
for anybody here who wanted to hear an amazing episode, check that Paul Stamets on
He also
Joe Rogan.
has a book as well about using the psilocybin and other psychoactive drugs to stop like tics and other things similar to what he
Yeah,
had.
like
the
these, like-
stuttering.
Yeah.
Compulsions.
Yes,
and convulsions.
exactly.
kinda like-
It is some kind of word like that, but it's like more general than just stuttering.
Yeah, it's like
Because for people with
being obsessive, and it's like
OCD,
OCD
and all
things
kinds
like
of different
that.
things.
Yeah.
How often are you supposed to do shrooms, dude? What's the deal with that? Do you know?
You know, someone told me, and this may just be total
Bro science.
hearsay,
Yeah.
bro science. They're like, bro, the way mushrooms works is they make your brain bleed.
Oh,
and-
that's 100% not true.
okay.
that's
there you
not
go.
true.
They're like,
Will
and
I
you're-
actually bleed?
they're like, you make your brain bleed, and that's your brain responding to the bleeding is what takes effects. So you don't want to do it a lot because you're making your brain
No,
bleed
no,
a
I
lot.
don't- I
And
don't
I'm like,
think so.
okay.
That's not true. Your
Yeah,
brain,
that's
your
total
brain
bullshit, I
is
guess.
constantly like dripping a tiny bit with blood. But
Oh,
that's
okay,
just like
that's still, I don't like that.
no.
still.
It's just that it has nothing to do with mushrooms. So mushrooms is like the chemicals in it getting to the brain. It's not like it's eliciting something that your brain does naturally, kind of like DMT, where DMT is like
psilocybin doesn't
it's
exist
not
in
the
your
same.
natural.
It's tricking your brain. DMT is like tricking your brain into doing something. Psilocybin is literally like adding
Ingesting a new thing
a
totally.
new
yeah.
chemical that interacts
beautiful.
with your
It's
brain
my
in a
favorite.
different chemical
It's
way.
great.
I have.
Stand up, it changed my stand up whole style, dude. Before I used to just stand up there and didn't really move around the stage. I used to just stand there and do my fucking shitty one-liners and just not move around. And then I did shrooms. I was like, dude, you got to be what you're off stage, on stage, and I'm slowly.
It destroys your ego.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It just made me like, dude, let go of your shitty punchlines. Be yourself.
Yeah, that's why for a while I was like, Rahil, please eat mushrooms. Please, bro, I can't hear these stories. Eat something,
I
bro.
was like,
Goddamn.
yeah, dude, mushrooms helped me a lot. I really want to do shrooms with my father and see what's that like.
Oh, that'd be the most bonding moment.
That's my bucket
That's
list for sure.
that's I think immigrant father son mushroom experience is almost like that. Almost seems like a VR setting in the future when you can go back to the past of your
Yeah.
memories.
That's the
like a
game?
VR
Like
setting.
the Tony Stark therapy kind of
yeah,
like
mushrooms
Yeah.
with your father.
yeah.
To fucking
Your dad's in India still, right?
Yeah.
Could you buy the psilocybin mushrooms in India more easily,
No,
or do you
no,
think it would
it's
probably be super heavy
hard.
restricted?
It's super hard. It's super hard.
Yeah, because there are certain things where it's like I know there's tons of like illegal pills and stuff that are not really policed as much in India, and then obviously a lot of heroin, but
Yeah.
that's because there's like
Afghanistan
Russians
is what
and
I- yeah.
Chinese guys trying to get stuff out of
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. So I just was thinking as soon as you said that, like that is an interesting and probably would be cool, but your dad would have to actually come here.
Yeah. There is one. I
To
don't know.
get him
yeah,
to do
yeah.
it on, come here on vacation and do
And
it
just
with
yeah,
him.
just do.
Up
Just
at a
get-
cottage or something. That's a pretty like.
oh yeah, dude,
Dad,
Canadian
come here,
type
have
of thing to
mushrooms.
do.
Let's talk, Daddy.
yeah. Just give him one like a half gram of shroom, like a microdose.
Yeah.
Like I know he smokes weed. I found that
Your
out
dad
when
smokes weed?
yeah, the last time I went.
So weed's easy to get there or what?
Oh, if you so my father he does well there. Like
Okay.
he's
He's doing well.
yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah.
So if it comes with power. there.
Yeah, gotcha.
So he
gotcha,
knows
gotcha.
people who
Yeah.
get him the dankest of dank you can get in India, which is the shittiest weed in Canada, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So what
of course.
happened, dude? I went. I don't know. So last year, no, it was not the year before that. I took a sabbatical and went to India for 3 months. Right? I just had enough of fucking Toronto and everything. So I went there and I went to my dad's farmhouse with my buddies just to fucking party. And he has like a tracksuit there that he wears at his farmhouse. Farmhouse is basically like a cottage equivalent in India.
Okay.
right?
Okay. It's called the farmhouse.
It's called farmhouse. It's so because there's not a lake, but you have a huge farm, right? You have
Okay.
like a bunch of things going around.
It's in rural parts as
Yes.
opposed to in the city,
Yes,
which
so
is
it's-
where your dad normally lives.
It's just in straight up jungles, right?
Yeah.
So you have a beautiful house. Anyway, so I go there and I was like, oh, I want to change my pants. So I wore my dad's tracksuit. And the first instinct is to put your hand in the pocket. I put
course.
my hand in the pocket, dude, and all I find is fucking seeds and weed stems and rolling papers. I'm like, oh my god.
He's got the
dude.
whole kit, huh?
Yeah, he has the whole kit. But I didn't have the balls to ask him if he wants to smoke with me. But this time I go, because weed is legal now here, right? I can be like, hey, the weed is legalized now. I smoked the weed when it was legal here.
Yeah.
Right?
I did it when it was legal, so it's okay.
it's
He's like, that's
man.
okay.
And so, yeah, maybe this time when I go there, I'm going to try and smoke a weed with him and see what's that like.
Imagine your dad rejects anything you offer, and he says, "I only smoke OG Kush." You're like, bro.
He's like, do you have that pink pussy, THC 26%?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, what? No.
Do you have that Astro Kush?
Yeah, what's
You're
that?
like,
Astro Kush.
Astro Kush.
Yeah, dude. So what I realized was most of the weed that I smoked in India when I was growing up was not actually weed. It was just hemp.
Oh,
You
it
know
was
what I
like
mean?
the inactive
Version of
part of the plant.
So me and my buddies would just get
We're like,
high on
"Bleh."
carbon
Yeah.
monoxide. You know what I mean? Because we would roll these huge joints that we are not getting high on, and we
it's just
smoke
the
them.
burning matter.
It's oxygen deprivation
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
you high.
And
But
you
I was
get
going to say
high-
that's actually true throughout Asia. Is for the most part there is an actual like weed.
No, it's just you're
most-
getting high on carbon monoxide.
It's
dude,
mostly
yeah.
hemp. It's mostly really shitty weed because
That's
I
some
have
ghetto shit right there.
Australian family who say like lots of the drugs come from like India and then Malaysia and the Philippines and stuff like that, and the weed is horrible because it's like just
all over the world, the weed sucks pretty
Yeah,
much.
especially in
I was gonna say like
Canada. Oh,
it
it's
takes a
just
first
beautiful.
world kind of country to get like really good refined
weed,
weed
yeah.
because like Israel does like medical marijuana that's like super high grade. Same thing with like California,
Yeah.
BC. Like
India does not have that concept of weed at all. Dude.
they have big fields. I'm sure they probably have huge amounts of shitty weed.
That's
but-
that's how we used to. Dude, you know how we used to go buy weed? So we used to drive like 20 kilometers from my hometown, right? So there is a there used to be this canteen. Do you know what a canteen is? Canteen is basically like a roadside tea shop.
Okay.
Right? All they sell is tea and biscuits and cigarettes, right?
Yeah, okay.
So we used to drive like 2 hours to get to that place, and he had no phone. So you just go there, and if you're lucky, he'll be there. Or if not, you have to tell the guy, the shop owner, be like, hey, is he around? And he would send the kid that works there to get him from the house, right?
Yeah.
He would come there and be like, hey, what's going on? He'd be like, how much? And we'll be like 2,000 rupees, right?
Yeah.
He'd be like, follow me. And then he would take us to this farm. And here's the thing, dude, like just like Patrick said, you enter the farm, it's all wheat. It's wheat. And wheat.
Yeah.
WHEAT.
Yeah.
Wheat. And you walk like 10 minutes inside the farm, and suddenly you just happen upon all these marijuana plants.
Like actual big plants.
Yes. So it's just like so it's like if there's a big square, in the middle there is marijuana. Everywhere other, so it's like to
Yeah,
mask
what's
the
that
smell.
called? They do that all the time, like here, like
That was much more popular here before
That's
they
called
started
a-
using helicopters.
to
and
spot it out.
India doesn't have helicopters.
I was going to say the
fucking there.
Indian drug squad definitely wouldn't. The only reason they would have helicopters in like the police or the armies for terrorism stuff.
Yeah, they don't
There's
have it.
no
The
way they would
Indian
divert
drug
them for, like,
squad.
surveillance
Do you know
stuff.
about the Indian drug squad?
No.
You just said that
They're
like
called
matter of factly. Like,
Oh no, there's a huge. Yeah.
what's if you get caught with weed in India? What's that fine like? What's
Oh, you go to jail. There's no fine
yeah, okay, so
for
you go
5
to
years.
prison for 5 years.
for 5 years. Yeah.
That's just like a
Simple possession is
It's a crime. Simple possession is a crime. But
Okay.
But here's the thing, dude. In
What about-
India, getting away with crime is so easy.
Yeah, it's-
So you're just like whatever, you know. So me and my friends, we just like what. But you got to be careful.
yeah.
You can't smoke weed anywhere, dude. Because people in India still think weed as cocaine.
Okay, yeah.
There is no
yeah,
difference.
Yeah,
Cocaine
gotcha.
is weed. Weed is cocaine.
It's
right?
yeah, heroin, coke,
Everything.
weed. Yeah,
Everything is
all
the same.
one.
They're much more permissible of like pills and kind of stuff like
Yes.
that. That's more like
Yeah, because that's pharmaceutical. Yeah,
pharmaceuticals.
there was a lab
The
involved
one thing
in that.
India did right though was hash, dude. We had the. I haven't had good hash in Canada yet, dude. Maybe if you know someone, let me know. But holy fuck, we had great hash
I've
in
never
India.
been a hash person, man. I just,
Really?
Yeah, just like a.
Oh, do you like
good-
hash, Patrick?
Yeah. Actually, I know someone. So the guy who used to work with us on Fuckonomics, Greg, he is like a weed guy. Like
Shout out to Greg.
yeah, like however you want to think of it. Like he grows it, does all the things you could do with weed. Knows more about it than I've ever like met in anyone. And he went to this secret seminar thing where this French guy came from Tibet, and apparently
Fresh guy from Tibet. Holy fuck.
in
Yeah.
Tibet and other
out there.
places around there, they're really into resin, and that's where like hash and
Yes.
stuff comes from. so
okay.
they in Tibet and parts of northern India, they have like fermented hash. Like they put it in the ground for like 90 plus
They
years.
go
some
all
of
in
it,
on their hash.
and
yeah.
it makes it so strong. It's basically like the equivalent to like dab kind of thing here.
Oh
but
yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
Theirs
The final
is like
level.
The good hash,
natural,
the final
old
form.
school
Fuck you
method.
up.
So how do you smoke it? Do you sprinkle it on your joints?
The
or-
hash?
Yeah,
Yeah. So basically, what we did was you take a ball of hash, right?
yeah.
You
It's always like dark brown.
yeah.
kind
You
of thing.
you heat it up
Yeah.
and you like until it's like powdery, and then you just mix it with tobacco and just roll it up.
Okay, yeah, you mix it, dude. That's how we used to do it in China. When I used to go, sometimes I wouldn't be able to buy weed.
Wait. You lived in China?
Yeah. So
What? And you smoked weed in China?
Yeah.
God damn,
Nigerian
bro.
dealer, Nigerians, bro.
There are Nigerians in China?
Dude, here's the funny thing
The
about
fuck are they doing there, bro?
bro. That's get an engineering degree.
And they're still selling weed on the side.
Say, brother, there is
Gotta
no,
hustle, bro.
the Nigerian guy Mike. I still have him on WhatsApp from Shanghai. He used to be like, there is no work for the black man in Shanghai.
Yeah.
I'm like, and with his accent, I don't know what the fuck that was there,
Yeah,
but like, dude, this guy was doing an electronics degree, like electronics engineering degree, and would just hustle weed. Like he's like, I'm not getting rich off this. Like he's not. It's garbage weed, and sometimes you'd only have hash.
Yeah.
And when they have hash, we'd have to roll it with tobacco. I'm
Tobacco,
like,
yeah.
That shit reminds me of.
But
like,
I feel like, dude, if you get caught dealing in China, they'll just
dude,
kill you.
No. The cops just kind of. I remember seeing the
Very
cops
corrupt
and
cops.
me. Dude, imagine me and two Nigerians in a park bench in the dark, rolling, and a cop walked by us in Shanghai. Remember, they just kind of like, as long as you're staying quiet and you're not making a scene and you're not like threatening to them, but we're three black dudes. He's just kind of. It's almost like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything. You're clearly like playing by the rules.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, then I'm just gonna keep walking, do my patrol. kind
That
of
is
thing.
crazy. I had no idea we were in China, dude.
Yeah. Well, I used to work for this. I used to work in California for a little bit. I don't know. And this company, they were launching a product in China, in Suzhou, China, like an hour and a half outside Shanghai.
Yeah.
And I would go there to oversee the launch,
Nice.
or as part of like,
How
I used to
long ago was
program
this?
manage. This is summer of 2017.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Fuck
bro, I used to hit open mics in fucking Shanghai, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
The
Fucking
thing about the Chinese government
yeah,
is
exactly,
it's
yeah.
number one. It's so good.
Yeah, African South. Yeah, exactly. It's so. The thing about the Chinese government is, it is great. It is
So
The
good.
mic cuts in. It is the best economy
yeah.
and politics I have ever heard of. You're like, what the fuck?
I'm mad. That is fucking
Very
crazy.
cool, man. Lots of expats just
Yeah.
fucking doing comedy. Irish, South Africans. Very cool vibe. And there's a lot of like Apple employees are all over China. Apple has obviously a ton of employees.
Yeah.
And a ton of their operations happen in China. So their employees are constantly there. And
Yeah,
you know, engineers. And there's so many engineers who are who are like artists at heart, but they're just engineers.
Yeah, I know
for
what you mean.
reality's
Yeah,
purpose.
Yeah.
So I would see those motherfuckers at the open mics. All these Apple employees that are like these like young kids that are comics at night that are like
trying to get the engineer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, bro, that's kind of what I was before I dipped engineering completely. They're living that double life. But
So you're
they're-
done with engineering, eh?
yeah, I haven't done it in years.
Yeah, me too, dude. My last engineering
can't,
job was
man.
in 2017.
I
After that, I was like,
can't,
I can't. But dude, here's the thing. Like, I didn't get into engineering because I wanted to, right? I got into engineering because my parents were like, hey, this is what you got to do.
Exactly.
Right,
I'm
like-
100%. 100% in the same boat.
And then I spent
And you were there.
$30,000 more
You
dollars
did
on
it.
my master's degree again.
Oh, okay, yes.
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I went straight into industry. Thank God for that.
No, I did not go into, because I was like, no, I don't.
You didn't want to accept it yet.
No,
you want to stay in the school life
see
as
what
long
it's
as
like.
possible.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
school
So
life is a different life.
It's a completely different
Yeah,
life, dude.
it's like halfway
Then I
into
got
reality.
the job and I was like, wow, I hate this,
this
dude.
shit.
I am not meant for this at all. Yeah, dude. Quitting engineering was one of the best job things that I've done in my life. Yeah.
Have you ever had a meeting where like all the people are talking in a meeting and it's like a conference call, and somebody starts talking about some side topic, and then somebody else goes, "I really think you can take that offline."
Yeah. Oh my god. It's
the number of
fucking-
times I heard that, I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't hear that anymore. You
The
know what I
number
mean?
of
Just
Google
fucking piss-
invites, the fucking
Yeah, right, I
get this,
fucking
get
can't.
this. Yeah, fuck that
and
noise,
that
dude.
fucking were you ever in an office setting where people knew you did stand up? That is the worst. I don't know if you ever let that happen.
So what happened was the job that I work at right now,
Yeah, they found out.
one of the saw my Instagram and followed me, and they saw my posts there, right? Here's what's funny, dude. I think it was 3 weeks ago. My boss, not my manager, my CEO, right? He messages me. He's like, "Hey, are you doing any shows tonight?" I'm like, yeah, I'm doing.
And he
these shows."
knows about.
Yeah,
comedy?
he know. Yeah, like he also like a comedy fan, right? I'm like, I'm doing these 2 shows. He's like, oh, it might be a bit tight tonight. I might not be able to come in, but in the future I'll come, right?
Yeah, like okay.
So I'm standing in front of the corner, right? And this guy had this fucking
The corner comedy
the
club.
corner comedy club, and this guy had this dab machine. He bought out Kevin. His name is Kevin China, right? And he bought this
Sick name.
dab machine. He's Asian too, by
I
the
trust
way.
him.
Yeah.
I trust that. Kevin China, I trust him.
So I hit this dab thing, and I go this, and just like the most fucking cliched moment ever. I exhale my smoke, and I just see my boss walk in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like, hey, Rahil, I've got tickets, and he brings his friend too. I'm like, what? And I'm like, and I just suddenly reality hit me, right?
Damn,
And then I go and I tell Joe, I'm like, yo, my boss is here. He's like, what? Yeah, my actual boss is here. And Joe goes, okay, you're headlining. I'm like, fuck. Then I go on the end, and luckily I had a great set.
You had a great set.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
So I fucking
it
did well.
worked out.
What's funny was about a month ago, right before he came into the show, I had asked for this promotion, and like I had given all my documents for all that shit. Like I had made a 5-year like plan and all that.
You jumped through all the hoops.
Loops, and nothing happened of it.
Yeah.
Dude. Like it was just under review for a month, and then he came and saw my stand. And a week after, my manager messages me like, "Hey, let's talk about that promotion."
That's
I'm like,
fucking
"Holy
hilarious.
shit!"
That's all
But
it took.
now, but coming to your point, because now he just keeps posting. My boss keeps posting. Do you know Slack, right?
Yeah, Slack, of
Yeah,
course.
he keeps posting on Slack. Hey, Rahil, when is your next show? I'm like, bro, you
Wait, in a group chat
yeah, in
or
office we have our office Toronto thing, right? It's
for the whole staff.
everyone to see. I'm like, bro.
Oh my
And
god, I fucking hate that
he
shit.
quotes my setups in the things that we're talking on Slack. I'm like, dude, you gotta
Bro,
stop.
I remember I had for this company I worked for. I went to China and I was there with I was staying in the Shangri-La hotel, and I was staying with another somebody from the same company. He was the VP of operations. I'd say.
Yeah.
It was the VP level. This guy was like a fucking alcoholic, right? So we're in like he's just fucking talking about how he's got all his kids, how his wife fucked up, and he's got like 3 kids, and like they're all great, and he had to raise them because his wife is like a drug addict, blah blah blah. We're drinking, and I'm like, I got comfortable because I learned if you work in an office, don't say you do comedy because everything changes after that.
Yeah.
After that, they go, hey, you got any shows? We do a meeting. Oh yeah. Yeah, you know, it's funny. I bet this is going to end up in your skit.
Yes.
Just every
fucking
interaction
word,
is related to comedy. It's a nightmare. And then the higher ups almost have this like weird resentment for you, almost to kind of be like, oh, you're, it's almost like you're dancing on weekends.
Yeah.
At some random thing. You know what I mean? It's almost like, oh, it's good that you're, it's good that you're doing other things. It's good that you're flexing that creative muscle. It's
They
good.
get shitty with you
Yeah.
because you're not 100% dedicated
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
that
and I
fucking
am.
company like them.
Exactly, yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, no, I
It's
got
like,
other
it's-
fun
yeah.
shit to do. Sorry.
I'm lucky in the way that my CEO, he's from Norway, right?
Yeah.
He's a fucking idiot too, dude, in the sense that he spent $35,000 on the Children of Boredom guitar.
On a Children of
Oh,
Boredom?
it's Children of Boredom is a Finland band. It's like a
Okay.
black metal band.
Are they good
So-
though?
Oh yeah, it's one of the bands I used to listen to when I was in university all the time. So he spent $35,000 on a guitar that man played on a fest. So he gets it all. So he's
This is
trying
your
to be.
current CEO right
Yeah, the guy.
now. He's that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy who spent.
He's got that money.
He's got that money and he has got that. What do you say? He's not like one of those guys who doesn't get it. You know, he gets it, dude. In a way, like, yeah, oh man, there are more things out there other than this job.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
So that's awesome. Yeah,
it's been great.
Yeah, that's the kind of mindset you got to work with.
It's very.
The reason I brought this, so I got comfortable with this VP, and I'm like, yo, I actually do stand up.
Yeah.
Actually, that's actually what I'm gonna be. That's
But you're
actually what I'm
drunk
gonna
too
do.
then?
Yeah.
You felt a
Because
little
what?
vulnerable.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Well, tell me a joke. Tell me a joke. We're drinking right now, right? 4 or 5 drinks in. Tell me a joke. Come on, come on. Yeah, let's go out for a cigarette. Come on.
Yeah.
He's smoking a cigarette. Come on, tell me something. Come on. Tell me. I'm like, come on, it doesn't really work like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really work like that, right? Come on. Finally, I'm like, okay. I say the setup and punch of one of the jokes that I'm doing at the time. And he goes, Well, I wouldn't quit your day job, buddy. All right? And I'm just like, you fucking cunt.
Oh my
You can't, you know what I mean? Like,
know.
I'm like, and that's the moment I was just like, and he just kind of like pats you on the shoulder, like, I
very
can't believe,
sympathetic,
like,
yeah, I know.
yeah. I was like, Jesus, I'm never like. That's when I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of this shit.
Yeah.
All right. At that point, I was like, I gotta get out of this corporate shit.
Yeah.
Bro, San Francisco was the funniest. I worked there for like almost a year, and these startups. There always is the CEO of the startup is always like this charismatic like captain
Yeah.
person, and I love how you work for startups. You know how like have you worked for a big company and a startup?
Yeah.
Big companies, there's a schedule. You
Yep.
apply for time off. It goes through some levels. You don't really see anybody.
There's a lot of
It's
red
just-
tape. Yep.
There's a lot of red tape.
Just
You're just a big
emails.
pool. Emails. You don't really know who's anybody. You see people walking. Oh, that guy's the fucking head director. Blah blah blah. But in a startup, it's a totally like
Everyone's right there.
everyone is fucking right there.
Yep.
Like it's a totally different vibe. And like I remember the startup that I worked for, the CEO, he would have town halls every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
He'd bring everybody around. Guys,
Yeah,
thank you
what's going
so
on? Yeah,
much for just hustling, coming through those goals, a lot of hand talk, you know?
Yeah.
And then, dude, the company that I saw, they would have a ball that they'd be like, this is the appreciation ball. When you hold it, you say who you're appreciative of.
Oh
what
my
they did.
god.
I'm appreciative of blah, and this. And then some Kyle in the background. Hey, can I get the ball? You throw it over him. I just want to say shout out to Surbinder
Yeah.
for doing all the hardware testing. Stayed overnight. He ran all the bugs, and you know he didn't see the birth of his child. Everyone applauds for him, right?
There's a guy in the back, you pass him the ball, and
Yeah.
he just goes, I want to give a quick shout out to Hitler, man. That guy had some great ideas, man. What's up with that?
Everyone's
guy?
like, boo. There's none of that. You would think there's none of
Yeah.
that because it's all the most like passionate
Oh, yeah,
engineers
oh, yeah.
that they have headhunted. You know what I mean?
They have built a group of people that work together.
That is remember the vibe of the university, the student committee.
Yep, that's
Those
the
kids
whole
once they
vibe.
graduate with their degree, that was the vibe of. There's nobody who's gonna make that joke.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There's nobody who's
No,
gonna
there
make
is
that
no
joke.
way no one's going to make that joke.
But the
You're
fucked
fucked.
up part is you would have this town hall, and at the end, the CEOs, remember, this is a family. I want to thank everybody for the hard work. We're coming up to the Christmas months. We're going to hit this launch. I know we're going to do it. We have an amazing team. The hours are going to get crazy, but just remember, this is a family, right?
Yeah.
And then the next day, the company would go bankrupt. You know what I mean? That's literally Silicon
Startups,
Valley
yeah,
right there. You know?
startups huge,
It
they push.
the company's already sinking. Financially, it's already been done. The CEO and all the VP, this company went under, and they knew what was happening. But I was there for the last town hall,
But they
and
still
I
had the
know
ball passing
exactly.
around.
We were already hitting the iceberg. We were
Wow.
done, and the
Yeah.
ball was passing around. You know what I mean? That's fucking. It's
That
the
is
same
crazy, dude,
bullshit,
yeah.
but they have this facade of like, look, there's couches.
Of positivity,
There's
yeah, I
couches.
know
There's
what you mean.
almonds. There's almonds.
There
This
is dartboard, guys.
Exactly.
There's free beer in
It's
the fridge.
2019. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's free beer. That was the one they
That
always
is a
did.
huge thing among startups, dude. I
Stay
don't know
till
what
9
it is.
p.m. and have a beer.
There is free beer. I don't get it. Who are you trying to attract alcoholics with that shit? Like, I don't.
Bro, I used to break into those beers. I was a consultant
Yeah.
at that company, and I used to break into those beers, and they would get fucking mad at me.
Mad.
They'd be like, "Whose beer is that?" Like, I'd be on video conference calls, and when I stepped out of the room, they'd ask one of the other engineer, the mechanical engineer, "Whose beer is that?" Like, I think it was a boss's. Okay. That's when they were building a case against me at the end.
Oh, what were they?
Yeah, because they asked me formally. They're like, we're going to be hiring, because I was working as a consultant.
Yeah.
They were like, we're going to be hiring full-time, and we were wondering if you wanted to come on board.
Yeah.
And this was after them leaving me in China. And I was like, I'm not.
Leaving you in China? What do you mean?
Like, they put me in China for weeks, pretty much. They like just threw me there, bro. They just threw me there to oversee this launch because I'm a consultant.
Yeah.
They're not okaying my personal vacation because they're the client. It was
yeah.
this fucked up position I was in. And then after I come back from, I do a good job. After I come back, they're like, on the side, because I'm like a consultant for this company. I work for a company who has leased me out to this company. And this company is like, hey, do you want a
Yeah.
full-time gig kind of thing? And I told them no.
Go fuck yourself.
And my contract was still going as a consultant. And now I've rejected the role full-time. now they're kind of like, okay, now it's kind of embarrassed because it wasn't appropriate for them to ask me like that, and I said no.
Yeah, dude, I exactly know what
You know what
mean.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now they're trying to put a case against me just so they can drop me off with the client. Be
Dude,
like, we
I-
don't want him anymore. So they're like, whose beer is that? Oh, okay. And they would ask the
make
other
notes.
mechanical engineer. The VP of operations who I
The
like I
stand-up
was
guy,
under.
yeah.
No, this was a
different guy.
different company. The VP of operations is who I was under. I was the operations program manager. I spoke directly to her. At the end, she'd be like, she'd tell the mechanical engineers around me. She'd be like, tell me what time he leaves.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Damn.
Like shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
you can't work
I'm
in that. That seems like a
fucking
very
yeah.
poisonous environment to be in.
Oh,
dude.
the worst. The
Fuck.
worst. My last day there after 5 months of breaking my back at this, right before I'm like leaving, she dips.
Yeah.
Just so she doesn't have to say goodbye.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you, man. So my longest job I've had so far has been for 2 years. That was the engineering job. Every other job, dude, I don't know what it is, but after 8 months, it just loses its charm. After 8 months, it just feels like you're in a routine. Now I go to every morning, wake up and see the same people again.
You get sold on the salary. That's really what sells you,
Yeah.
right? The
Yes.
salary, you're like, okay, 3 weeks vacation.
3 weeks
This
vacation.
much money.
I can
Okay,
buy
I can
Jordans
get
with
this, I
that.
can
Fuck
get
yeah,
that.
dude.
Yeah, exactly. And then that just wears off. That just wears the fuck off real
There's
quick,
only
man.
so many Jordans you can buy before you
Yeah,
don't
before
kill
you're
yourself.
like,
Dude.
fuck,
Yeah, man, it's not
This
worth
third
it.
one didn't feel any different from the second
It
one.
doesn't- Still want to put a bullet in my head
Yeah,
right now.
right.
Holy fuck.
Dude, my older brother, till this day, he goes, man, every time I see him, he had issues, so he pretty much dropped out of school, worked in the States with my uncles because he was such a handful. My parents didn't want to. You know how like immigrant parents would be like, oh, you go there. You know what I mean? You go back to.
They shrug off their responsibility.
Exactly.
by
They
saying, yeah.
threw him there. They abandoned him in Sudan. Then from Sudan, he goes to America to work. And he comes back, finally does his GED and all this stuff, right? But he's like hardened by all these experiences working in like construction lots, 16 with like 40-year-old alcoholics and shit like that. So till this day, he goes, man, I don't know how you left that engineering. If I could make money like that, if I could make that 6 figures like that, man,
Yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat. I'm like, bro, it doesn't work like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
man. That's what I thought too. You know
You
what I
can't
mean?
explain it to people. Dude.
I
People
know.
either get it
They're
or
like,
they don't get it. Yeah.
Man, that's stupid, guy. 6 figures, man. I'd do fucking 80 hours for 6 figures.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, man, it's like,
you don't get how soul crushing it is, dude.
right?
It is.
Jesus fuck.
Dude, every day I left my office, I was like, man, what am I doing with my life?
Right?
But then morning I would wake up and go back again.
Dude,
Dude, you're a responsible adult where you can just buy shrooms and do shrooms, and yet I decided to go to that shitty job day after day after day.
Man, I lived 5 minutes from the office and I had a hookah at my place. I was like a big hookah smoker.
Yeah.
I was the hookah guy, right? And I used to be like, yo, man. I used to like distract myself with all this shit. I'd go back at lunch. I'd go home. I'd make a quick lunch. I'd smoke a coal. I'm like, no, I got it good, man. You know what I mean? I got it good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing good. You know, like I'm not addressing the fact that I resent
Yeah,
every
you build
hour
a
that I'm in
little
the
lies.
office.
You tell yourself.
I'm not enjoying this.
No?
None of us actually like this, but we're all kind of accepted that this is what we all must do.
Are meant to do.
Yeah, or meant to do kind of thing. It was,
Yeah.
dude, no one I worked with was my age. It was all 40-year-old engineering men, and the conversation for 2 years was all how to finish a basement. You know what I mean? Like, I know exactly how to finish a basement, bro.
My daughter is dating guys now. Do you guys any idea? Like, fuck, man. I can
Yeah.
only imagine, dude. But it does hurt a lot, dude, because when I quit my engineering job, so it was me and my other friend, right? We both went to university together. We got the same job. I quit my job, so he got that position, right? So now he was handling both the responsibilities.
Okay, yeah.
So he got promoted
Okay, yeah.
because he was that.
They're like, we won't hire another
Yeah,
person.
he-
We'll just give him 15,000 more.
Yeah, and he bought like a fucking $80,000 Mercedes right now. And he lives in
Yeah.
Brampton. I was like, damn, dude. As much as I love telling shitty dick jokes, I would love to drive around in a Mercedes too. You know?
Yeah, bro, guy, man. As soon as I moved to Detroit, I went to a BMW dealership.
Yeah.
And I ordered a BMW 435.
Oh,
Like,
shit, yeah.
I built it from Germany. Everything. You
Yeah.
know, I went ghetto. You know, like when a ghetto person makes it out of
Yeah,
the hood.
I-
that
I-
decision they
you're
make.
rich. I know what you mean, yeah.
So I did that for 3 years. I was paying a crazy lease, bro. Yo, when I was in Madison Heights, Michigan, I used to pay for my car a month, all in, $1,200
Oh wow.
a month, and I would pay $400 for my rent. Okay.
Jesus Christ, dude.
23-year-old, 3-year-old,
Just driving around in a fucking
stupid
BMW.
motherfucker. Yeah. A great car. Till this day, I loved getting into that car every time. 6-speed manual was fucking
Yeah.
fun. I loved it every time. But what it's worth coming out of your bank account
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Within 12 months of having that car, you're gonna be like, okay, I'd rather have the money now.
I gotta sell my kidney or some shit like that right now. I gotta blow some guy.
I used to have a fucking nice 1-bedroom apartment. I had to go rent 1 bedroom. I had to. I couldn't afford anything. I was fucked up with my credit cards, everything. The car was almost a third of my net income.
So that's what I think, man. When people people who own
naive.
BMWs, right? Like let's say you own let's say you own $100,000 car. Do people just wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, go, "Holy fuck, bro! I own a BMW. I'm killing in life right now."
No, man, they
Dude,
lease
because
that car.
You think so?
Yeah, man. Everybody's leasing these cars, bro.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah, that's how you got in the States.
All these Teslas I see, these are all leased Teslas.
Well, the way I don't know about what people are typically doing Teslas. I don't know.
Dumb people buy cars. That's true. Like,
Well, that's
people.
not necessarily the true 100% the case. But the idea is that
Cars
why
always
pay
lose
into a
value.
depreciating asset?
Yeah.
Why invest in a depreciating asset? The lease, it's like in the States, what you agree on, your lease payment is based on how much is the residual value of this car.
Car, yeah.
So this BMW, I negotiated to be 60%. That means I'm paying for 40% depreciation. In Canada here, they may give you like 49% residual.
Okay.
So you're paying a huge depreciation rate, you know? Like cars are way more affordable in the States. They make a way better deal for you to get a car in the fucking States than here.
It's easier to get a car there as well, right?
Dude, in Michigan specifically, they don't have a safety. They don't have an
anything.
e-test. If the car can drive, bro, I've seen cars that are like clearly post major accident.
Oh yeah.
But like, there's just enough components in the place
there a
they
steering
should
wheel?
be. Yeah, everything
Is
is.
there a steering wheel? Is there a gear knob? Fuck yeah, but here's your key. Let's go, bro.
Half the
Let's
engine
drag
bay
race.
is exposed. The whole front suspension is exposed, but they're just going, and
There's
that's
no
fine.
glass in the front. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still driving, dude. It's a rooftop, you know.
Yeah,
Topless
exactly.
car,
It's
bro.
It's an off-road vehicle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The
Dude, you know
windshield.
what you reminded me of? When I remember when I was like 16, I'm trying to get my license in India. And I go to this, it's called RTO office, right? It's Road Transportation Office in India. That's what those are called. I remember going to this place.
Like the DMV.
The DMV. It's
Yeah.
called RTOs in India. And like my father, he knew some people there, right?
Yeah.
So I go there.
Shout out to your dad.
Shout out to my dad. My dad and my mother, dude, fucking that guy. That's a quintessential. Both of my parents are doctors, but my mom is a corporate doctor. She loves the corporate lifestyle, right?
Okay.
She's like a principal of a medical college. She loves her 9-to-5 job. She likes
Yeah.
to give, I'm like, yeah. I'm
Your
gonna
dad's
do-
more private.
Yeah, my dad, like he worked for a while, then he just built his own hospital. He's like, I can't work for anyone else.
So your dad built a hospital.
Yeah, he has his own hospital.
So
yeah.
you come from money.
Oh, I come from
Oh, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I've had a comfortable life, dude. That is why
You told me you struggled outside. We bonded over it. You motherfucker
that is
fooled
why
me.
that is why I was able to do stand up. You know what I mean? Because my parents were like, you don't have to, because most of the people who move here.
But you said you were pushed into engineering, though.
Oh yeah. So here's the thing. The reason I was able to pursue stand up was because I didn't have to send money back.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? A lot of people who come
have
here
to send money back.
have to send money
I
back.
have to send money to London right now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So my parents were like, just
100%, man. I fucking love that, and that's
So that gave me a huge kind of
freedom.
freedom to
Yeah.
do whatever the fuck I want,
Yeah.
right? Anyway, so I remember the RTO thing. I was like 16 years old. Like my father was very disappointed in me until I was an adult because I was like a fat kid who didn't really. He was exactly the opposite. Do you know Ayn Rand by any chance?
No, who?
Ayn Rand is an author from the only reason I speak my English is so good right now is because when I turned 15 on my birthday, my father entered my room and gave me The Fountainhead. It's a book by an author called Ayn Rand. Do you know Ayn Rand by any chance? You must love Ayn Rand,
Of
eh?
course.
Okay,
She's
so
like one of the pillars of like objectivism and
She's
stuff
an author
like
from
that.
1920s, right? Like a very
What's the book called? Fountainhead?
the Fountainhead
Yeah,
and
and
there's
Atlas
Atlas
Shrugged, you're
and
probably more familiar with.
those are two of her main books. So basically, those books are about how everything is objective. The main responsibility of a man to the world is to keep himself happy and not others,
Okay.
right? So and then everything else. Anyway, so he threw this book in my face and is like, be a man. And so my father was very objective in the sense that there was no room for emotions, right?
Yeah.
So you're perfect.
It's all
you-
rational stuff.
Yes.
Oh, we're in the same boat. My dad was pretty much the same.
It's 1 + 1 is equal to 2. There is no room for any interpretation at all.
It's like an
Yeah.
expansion of the Socratic kind of
Yes.
method and philosophies. It's very much just like an individualist kind of philosophy.
You are the god. That's pretty much it. And also, but right now,
My dad was like, "You are gonna be an engineer." You know what I mean? You're not. There's no question about it. You're gonna pray 5 times a day, and
yeah,
you're gonna do engineering. And
I
that's
really
that.
wanted to become a doctor when I was a kid, dude, because I used to see my parents, but my parents were like, "Nah, you got to become an engineer." I'm like, "Okay." And I became anyway. So the point I was trying to make is like my father didn't really like me because he was very objective, and I was very like an emotional kid. Since not right now, I guess, but anyways. So we go to this DMV. Dude, you always know your father is your father, but you never really see the power he wields around.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I thought he would never really wield his power for me because he never really liked me.
Yeah.
You know what I
okay,
mean?
Yeah.
So I remember that I was standing in line for like 3 hours and nothing happened. So I call up my father. Right. I'm like, Daddy, like this is not happening. The line is not moving. He's like, what? He's like, I'm this 10. He's like, did you talk to that guy? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you're a fucking idiot, right? He hangs up and then he calls up that guy. He calls up someone, dude. And 5 minutes later, a guy comes on the side. He takes me aside. And you're supposed to drive around in a car and show them.
Yeah. That you're
good at
equipped, competent.
And he just took my photo and just gave me the license, dude.
That's
That's
beautiful.
That was one of the first things I realized what being I don't know how to put this.
privileged. Yeah.
Privileged
You're like,
because-
yo, I got power. I'm in this
Not
thing.
I didn't get power, but
You have access to
But
power.
that's what
You're connected.
That's what privilege is, certainly in like the old sense, is you are benefiting of the privilege of someone else's power and
Power, yeah.
authority. So this is like what real privilege is the privilege your parents give you.
Yeah.
It's way less like, I think it's certainly philosophically in the bigger sense, it's way more about like your parents kind of station and like what they pass on to you.
yeah.
kind of thing.
And he all got it from Ayn Rand, dude.
Dude,
People, I don't know if this will make sense, but people fucking hate Ayn Rand, dude. People who are
She's
fans
a
of Ayn,
polarizing character.
dude, there
Why?
are so many people because a lot of people think she's right-wing literature.
'cause she inspires like independent thought.
Yes,
like,
there
Well,
is
and
no
it's-
emotions.
It's also very much one of the big things she goes, okay, so Bill Gates, no one has donated more money to charity. However, Ayn Rand would say what he has donated to charity pales in comparison to the help he has given the world by making
Microsoft.
software cheaper.
Gotcha.
So it's not about like me physically
directly giving money to charity.
It's more about you be the best you can possibly be,
Yep.
and you raise up, first of all, your own, like, a lot of it is like what you talked about like a man's responsibility.
It's to himself.
Yeah, so it's more like you have to figure out what great achievements you can accomplish, and then you use that to sort of raise up and protect and nurture your
Yeah.
family so that they start off from like a higher pedestal than you ever started off from.
And that's what my father. That's why I brought
This is
up Ayn
why
Rand,
a lot
yeah.
of people don't like it as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like very much like property rights and inheriting an advantage kind of thing of like,
Ultra capitalistic, dude. Ultra fucking capitalistic.
yeah, so a lot
I
of
don't
like
mind that.
left wing
Actually,
people don't
that-
like it.
But
That-
man, one of the best books I've ever read, dude. It's so, dude. This Fountainhead has a 70-page monologue at the end. It's one of the most brilliant things I've ever read in my life. His name is Howard Roark. He's an architect who builds a building, right? But they force him to build a building in a way he doesn't want to build the building. So what he does, he burns the building down, right? So the entire story is about he's in court and he presents why he burnt the building down, right? And it's just him. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, dude.
Have you ever reread it? Have you ever gone back and reread it?
I've read The Fountainhead 3 times. And
Yeah?
At last, 4 times, yeah.
And the other one
Still
is
take things from it?
From that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's just a nostalgic
Maybe I'll
thing
need
with
to
my
dabble, yeah.
Maybe because my father
Check it
gave those
out.
books to me.
I think it lends itself to like people like you guys who are engineers, people who work with stuff in the real world as opposed to sort of like abstract kind of stuff. It lends itself to people who are like practical, capable, realist, people who it's often.
Those sound like communist values.
No, it's the opposite. It's literally the
opposite,
the
dude.
polar
Yeah,
opposite.
Oh,
This is when you guys find out that I don't really know what communism is.
Well, no, and like one of the other books is about businessmen sort of like fighting the government and so in
John Galt,
yeah, in her world, like the businesses, not necessarily corporations, but businesses are the good guys and governments are the bad guys because businesses just like offer something in return for something, whereas like government is just using force and is trying to order things in a very unnatural way. I think if you just read like a couple of bits
I'm
of
gonna
it,
look into this.
you
I'm gonna
would-
look into this.
Look
Yeah.
at-
the
Right.
objectivism, like philosophy part of it is like, I think just generally people who are like engineers, people like that tend to
I
enjoy
trust
it.
successful people. Jeff Bezos is a huge fan of Ayn Rand.
Oh yeah, I like
Hey, look, you
Warren
had me at
Buffett.
Fountainhead, right, baby? You had me at 70-page monologue,
You
all
know
right?
what's funny
If
though,
you-
dude?
I love
People-
monologues.
People don't say it in public that they're fans of Ayn Rand.
Yeah,
They don't say it.
because
How do you spell this author?
AYN?
R-A-N-D.
Yeah.
A-Y-N?
Yeah, Ayn
Space?
Rand.
Ayn
I know it's a
Rand.
fucking bizarre name. It's a
Okay,
very
I'm gonna
bizarre
look
name.
at this. Yo, and that's how we end every episode with book suggestions, so that was perfect anyway.
What, for
no,
real?
No, I'm kidding.
What the fuck? I was like, God damn.
That's what this is. The Immigrant Section is a book club, baby.
Yeah,
Okay, yo, take your time, please. Plug everything. Plug the Wet Beak.
Oh, follow us at. Yo, by the way, dude, Patrick, I'm just happy that you know about fucking Ayn Rand, dude. How did that never come up on the Wet Beak? Fuck.
I know. You know Michael Malice?
Michael Malice, yes, he was on the Legion of Skanks.
Yeah,
like that name.
He's like a very good modern representation of someone who is called like a Randian.
There's a whole name.
Oh
for
yeah,
it,
it's
huh?
a whole subculture, dude.
And so he's very much like an anarchist, like hates the government, hates control, and it's very much in terms of like individual rights,
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Just hell, man, we found another thing common between us, dude. This is fucking amazing. Anyways, I was just happy. Anyways, follow us at hashtag the Wet Beak.
Yeah,
at the Wet
Patrick
Beak.
produces both podcasts.
My Instagram handle is at my name is Rahil Shaikh. Check out the Corner Club. I'm there usually every day. 163 John Street, and we have another location at Queen and Carla.
Toronto,
and,
Ontario. I'll be plugging all your stuff in the description anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's
no
pretty
need
much
to
it.
commit
Thanks for
any
having
of
me,
that
dude. It's a fun
to
time,
memory.
fun
Fuck
hang.
yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And you gotta have me on the Wet Beak, baby. Let's cross
100%,
over,
dude.
baby.
Yeah,
We're all in the
fuck
same
yeah.
house. Let's do it,
You got
yo.
it, dude, yeah.
If you are listening on iTunes, throw up a 5-star review. Why the fuck not, baby? It's the Immigrant Section. And remember, full videos are on YouTube. They come out pretty much the Friday after the video releases on audio platforms. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tell your friends about the Immigrant Section. Peace,
Have a good
y'all.
night, guys.
Peace.